Hello and welcome back. Today what we're going to focus on is how to set up filters within our newly created views. So the point of a filter is to allow us to filter out some of the unwanted data within a view and focus in on just certain aspects that may be important to us. So maybe we want to see just high impact items, high cost items, whatever it may be, and whatever would give your audience the most impact is basically how you want to set up your views. So what we're going to look at is we're going to put some filters on this view here. So the first thing I'm going to do is when I open up our view menu again, you'll see we have the filters drop down. So now I'm in the filter section, you'll notice there are advanced and basic. So what we want to do is make sure we're on the advanced option. And I'm just going to quickly describe what these three filters are. So the enterprise filters, we don't have to focus much at this point. This will bring in or filter out certain items in your enterprise structure, which is something we can touch on at a later date. The base filter is going to exclude items that should never appear on this view. So we'll use that in a moment. An interactive filter will allow us to configure the labels that we want to be able to filter on as we're exploring our view. So I'm going to come back to this view. So a couple things that are happening here, or we can see we have goals and our projects. But really, I really don't ever want to see goals on this view. So since I never want to see goals on this view, I'm going to implement a base filter to make sure that goals will never show up. So to do that, I'm going to come into my view filters here. I'm going to click on base filter to define this. And you'll see I can see our categories here. So right now, since they're highlighted, both of these categories are selected. I'm going to unselect goals. And since this view is only about projects, I don't want any other potential categories that we may add in the future to be part of this view. So I'm checking this box so that way they won't be added to the list. So I'm going to hit OK and save. And what you'll notice are that these went away at the top. We no longer are seeing goals on this view. Now, I still want to get rid of this category. So if you remember in the last view setup video we walked over how to hide empty rows or columns. So I'm going to hit hide, hit save. So now my view is set up where I have filtered out the goals. Now what I want to do is have some filters so I can actually see some more insight into what's happening here. So I'm going to go back to my view filters. Now I'm going to come into interactive filters. I'm going to hit configure labels. So when this menu opens, you'll see we have a couple things happening here. I can add a category filter, item tags, item type, owners, or I can choose this drop down menu here and actually filter on certain attributes. So for this one I want to filter on is I'm going to open up the list here and I'm going to want to filter by impact. And then I'm also going to want to add tags since we add tags to our story. So now what we can do is if I look at this, I can edit what filters I want to see. So I'm going to leave out the unassigned filter because I know that everything has been assigned because I created this. But if you were just filter on it, you might want this unassigned filter in there so you can see if anything it has been not assigned an impact at this point. So what I'm going to do is hit X. So now what we can see, we have tags checked and impact. So I'm going to hit save. So now when I come back to my view, you can see a couple of things happening. We can see our interactive filters that we chose here, impact. Then we can also see our tags. So actually, if I open this toggle here, you can see I can look at California, Ireland, and New York, as those were the sites that we said are active. So I can actually click on just New York now, and you'll see that we lost some things over here. So I'm filtering only things that are relevant or related to the site in New York. I can do the same with California, or what you'll see is there's this or and switch here. I can say California or Ireland, or I could switch it and say and. So we know implementing HR is actually happening in both California and Ireland. And all of these items are happening in California or Ireland. The same thing happens here with not. I can click not. And now I'm seeing anything that is not happening in California or Ireland. So you can get creative with your filters with tags here. Now I'm going to bring everything back into the screen. I could have done that by hitting reset over here as well. So what I'm going to choose here, I want to say I'm only going to look at high impact items. There we go. So if I click on the filter bar itself, I can see that. Or I could click on this check mark, and it's actually going to add the filter to the view. So maybe I want to look at just high and medium impact items. So I can do that, and I'm excluding low impact. So I'm going to hit reset. We'll be looking at everything. So this is a way we can start to look at our filters here. And then you'll notice that these filters are color coded. So we can actually take this a step further and now combine our filters and our view to start telling a story. So what I'm going to do is come to my view setup. And now I'm going to look at item appearance. So we have been spending time in the layout tab. We're going to move over to item appearance. And you'll see we have this border color by and also background color by. What I'm going to do is, since we're looking at impact and filtering on it, maybe we want to add some extra visual cues to that for my filter. So I can hit border color by. I'm going to scroll down, hit list, and I'm going to come down to impact. I'll hit save. And now what you're seeing is our filter bars now have a border around them, telling us that we are bordering by this impact. And you can see on our items, we can see these colors reflected as well. So that's just a very quick intro into filters. They're very useful, and you'll most likely get to a point where you're using them in every view, so that way you can see a whole host of different insights. At this point, that's it for our filter demonstration. As always, there is more to come, and please do not hesitate to reach out to a member of our team if you would like to explore this topic more. Thank you. Goodbye.